I forgot to make the point about the trophies and finish my thought on that, because I'm just going to make it a lot quicker than I did the first time around having the conversation with him directly. Because, like, my friends, we know each other, we can have discussions and not agree on the issue and not create a war. We just discuss, and he emailed me some resources to look up, and that's what friends do, you know. But I disagreed with it because he's someone who's worked very hard and achieved what he has, and I'm sure doesn't enjoy paying taxes for the things that he, you know, is made to pay taxes. And I'm someone who's tried really, really hard, did the formula, went to school, and you know, took risks. Maybe maybe I didn't understand in trying to launch my first business way back. You know, I was like 26. That was the first time I tried to branch out and do my own thing. Maybe it was way too early. You know, I had learned enough through, you know, jobs, I thought, that I could do it. And then in failing, did I really understand all the different ways I had to work on, you know? And so each time trying, you know, isn't like I'm trying the same thing, getting the different approach, or getting the same result, which was the argument of my friend. I'm not trying the same thing and doing the same thing each time. I'm going back to the drawing board, working on the same goal and the same destination, even though I may take a different route. Like if I go to the beach, I can take Commercial, I can take Oakland, and I can take Sunset. And sometimes you have to take and get lost, and you know, you get a flat tire and weather conditions, whatever, breakdowns on your car, like everything that could go wrong seems to have gone wrong. And I was doing just as much sacrificing and putting in just as much effort and doing everything else everyone else was doing. I just had to face it that I wasn't good enough. Same when I pursued being hip hop dance. Like I grew up in the country, like I thought I was good enough, and then I went around the people who are really good, and it was like a death, like admitting to myself I wasn't ever going to make it. That was my dream all growing up, to get me out of the cornfields. You know, I always wanted to travel and see the world, you know, and that was going to be the way I was going to do it, you know. And I'm glad my mom, you know, encouraged me to go to college first, because then at least I had that to fall back on once I did admit to myself that I wasn't good enough. You know, I've continued to dance and know that I'm an amateur. I just love it and enjoy it so much, still do today, so I still do it. But I think giving trophies for participating, you know, is not a bad idea, because kids don't understand how to rationalize, oh, I didn't get it, I'm not the best, but I'm going to keep trying. You know, they don't rationalize like that. Like, I've taken a long time for me to even be able to rationalize like that, and I'm 31, you know, so I think kids, if they, you know, we get it. You're the winner. You get the big trophies and all the adoration, and you're the best. But you have to have all of us to make you look good. And not everyone can be the best. Someone has to be the winner, and someone has to get the last place. So, you know, my friend was saying we can't reward last place. I'm like, well, at least they tried. We should give recognition and small rewards to even the last place. You know, because for there to even be a game, you have to have participants, and they make the same sacrifices by, you know, every day after school, going to the same, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, but they're just not as good. And sometimes practicing harder doesn't even make you better, you know. And I've practiced really hard on dancing for a long time, and I'm still pretty much the same. Same with golf. I could golf every day for the rest of my life, and I always say it like this. When people ask me how I'm good or what my handicap is, I say I can keep it on the course. I'm a hell of a driver, and I can keep it on the course. Beyond that, it's a luck. It's some days I'm terrible, and some days it's unbelievable. So it's like that with me in life. Yesterday was day 11 in this documentary. It was a terrible day. I was down on myself, discouraged, wanted to give up. You know, I'm ready to move home in a lot of ways. I see a lot of good opportunities if I go home. But I want to commit to at least the 30 days I gave myself down here and really give it a valiant try beyond, you know, what I might, because I can always go, that option's always at the end anyways, so I might as well really try, because I believe in the things I'm doing. And then today, I feel renewed. I'm looking at how to raise money. I'm working on editing and other, you know, I want to write letters, and I want to try and get it out, you know, to, yes, help myself. Who doesn't want to help themselves? But it's always nice when what you're doing to help yourself to earn money is really providing really good things for a lot of other people too. And that's why I developed my business concept. It was if you've ever read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, you know, it's always about creating a win-win-win situation. And Higher Angels helps the angels because they get flexibility in determining their own hours. They can earn as much money as possible because it has an AFLAC earning structure where they make commission on any accounts they bring in along with the ones that they themselves serve. And then, you know, beyond that, you're serving people, you're doing what you like to do around your own schedule and maybe a supplemental income. So my goal is always to create a scenario that wins for everyone, not just myself, and certainly not at the sacrifice of others, like so many conglomerates and corporations are even doing when they outsource jobs to other countries. It's really at the sacrifice of, because they're not bettering their life, really, not really, you know, just enough to survive because they're so desperate they're willing to accept the job at whatever terms, you know. But you play on a person's desperation and sell them short. I mean, if you think about it, we went to school to obtain the information and the sacrifice of money and time and everything else to, you know, teach ourselves whatever our expertise or our crafts are. And then to have somebody who didn't do that buy my brain from me or whatever at such a cost below what it's worth just because they have buying positioning power right now, and we're all so desperate, and they have the pick of the litter. They're exploiting us, and we're allowing them to, and we're not standing up for ourselves. And I've grown wary of, you know, every curtain I see behind every industry I try to go into. It's like this disappointment, and it's like it doesn't matter where I go or which skill set of mine I use. I ultimately come to the same, you know, feeling about it. It's not that I can't go get a job and go 9 to 5. I do it all the time because I finally get sick enough of the sacrifices I'm making to do the things I'm doing without people supporting me, and I finally give up and then go back in, and then I realize it rejuvenates my drive and determination, so I come back out, you know. So I'm just trying to band together with justtheopposite.info that's being worked on right now, where I'm going to move all this stuff to, so, you know, I'm not, you know, forcing myself on other people. I don't want to ever do that. I just want to band together with the other like-minded people, and I perceive those as kind of people that feel the same way I do and that have been kind of rejected by society in one way or another. And these topical discussion forums and roundtables will give us idea brainstorming, you know, place without being confined by location in order to discuss things that we can do. And I don't even know what those are. I need everyone else, and if no one else shows up to the roundtables, then maybe a lot more people are satisfied out there than I think. So I can always be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. I'm used to it, and I'm okay with it. So now I'm done. I think people should get trophies for participation. That was the point of this one, because it gives you. I mean, it's a very little gesture, and it has so much effect on kids because, you know, they're going to grow up feeling. With it repeatedly not getting a trophy, because as hard as they practice and then factor in parents that put a lot of pressure, you know, then you've got this kid that's growing angry at the winners because they're just want to be so much equipped and able to do it, and they can't, and they've never been recognized or given rewards for it. And maybe it's time we start, you know, at least not as great as the winners. I think it's important to have competition and you know, have that sense of satisfaction when your hard work pays off and you do win, but not to forget all the other people that it requires in order to be a winner. Because you got to have somebody doing all this work you don't want to do. All the winners don't want to be doing the work or the kind of work that we're doing. So at least, you know, don't take away every benefit and make us angry at you, because it's not going to serve you in the end, because we're going to come after you when we finally get so sick of it and you taking away our benefits and still taxing us as you get taxed and all this. I mean, you know, if the more you do that, it's not going to serve you well, because we're going to finally wake up and do something about it.